where and talk to who?
I didn't do it this time.
You didn't. Good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time you're listening. Everybody, thanks for finding the Geek Spot with us. As always, you got Jack and Frank here to bring you up to all the latest news and new shows, old shows, all those things. And, it's what we're going to talk about tonight. All those kinds of things.
It's Frank and the Tuna. I'm going to start calling you Tuna.
Don't do it. Don't.
I'm going to start calling you Tuna.
No, I don't know that that's appropriate.
Hey, Charles.
But hey, just to get it out of the way early for once, if you're listening on your podcast spots, make sure you give us a like and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell them to go listen to it. Unless it's YouTube music, then you can't really do much of anything on there, which is great. So hopefully you're using one of the other better platforms for it. And if you're watching us, same thing. Give us a like, subscribe, tell a friend, make a raid happen, like our boy Dom does every once in a while. And, and do all those things. So, yeah, we had a busy week, I think. We were a full week for once. It's been a weird stretch for us the last month or so, but I think we're back on track for this week, but we'll be back off track next week, so it'll be great.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do the thing on...
And I won't be in the country, so yeah, there's stuff.
I'm not doing the thing. What day am I doing the thing?
Monday.
It is Monday. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Monday. We will find a way to let you know how we feel about the Thunderbolts coming out this week.
Is that this weekend? No, next weekend.
No, that's in 2 days. 3 days.
Dude, I am so off and all over the
things. But in the meantime, before you get to next week, Frank, what'd you do last week? What have you been up to, man?
I don't remember. Honestly, it was a stressful week. My son bought a car for the first time. His first car. My youngest. So, we left the lot Saturday, and I said, "You're not coming home, right? You're going to show off." Yeah.
Did you get the Cayenne?
No, he got a 2015 Volkswagen Jetta. It's a sedan.
Okay, I remember the 2015 Jetta.
Yeah, it's a nice car for him.
Yeah.
110,000 on the speedometer. It's not too bad. It's in good condition. I did the Carfax thing, and I did all the normal research, and it's a very trusted guy that we got it from. So he's off on his own, and I'm a nervous wreck now. And then, of course, last night he made that jump to 1,000 while I was laying in bed. I went to bed early last night, a little tummy ache. And like 11:30, my phone rings, and it's him, and he doesn't ever call. So I looked at the phone. I was like, "Oh, Christ, here we go." And he's like, "Dad, there's no parking out front. There's a spot a little bit down, but I don't know how to parallel park." I was like, okay. Let me come out and help you with that. So I made him do it. He did it pretty good.
My oldest just learned parallel parking Saturday.
Yeah, that's the one thing we didn't go over was parallel parking.
Because he gets his license this Saturday.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy for him. Don't get me wrong. And now I don't have to ever go to the store on my own. But
that's true.
And then it's just, what? I spent the weekend not rewatching things.
Oh, that's exciting.
But not watching anything. I just vegged on video games. I haven't had a week. I caught up. I got caught up on The Last of Us. I had Andor done way earlier than I thought because I thought that it was going to be I thought it was going to take a while to get through 3 episodes, and I boom, pretty quick, 2 days.
All right.
And I didn't really. I didn't watch reruns of The Office. I didn't watch nothing really rewatched. I also didn't watch anything new, unfortunately.
Got it.
But
only there were things that you were supposed to be watching.
All right. I am look, before you get into what you did, because you usually do a lot more, I got halfway through the first episode of the new season of Doctor Who, and I will say this. His demeanor in the show is energetic. I like his I like how energetic he is throughout the episodes, and he seems like he's having a lot of fun doing it. And so I don't have any reference point for him as an actor prior to this, and I don't really remember watching Doctor Who outside of Tom Baker in the 70s. So I'm actually looking forward to watching. What's there, 9 episodes?
I don't know.
Something like that. They dropped them all, right?
No.
Huh?
No, it's a weekly show. That's why we try and.
But they're all listed.
No.
Yeah, they are on Disney Plus.
Maybe. Then maybe
This one starts out with the church and the ruby thing, right?
That's season 1.
I'm watching
We're on season 2.
Wait. So I'm watching the entire wrong arc of show.
You're watching the Church at Ruby Road?
Yes.
Oh, it's a fantastic episode. I thought you watched that already.
No. I went right to you said watch the Christmas special and then go from there.
Yeah, that was before the new season came out.
I'm not even watching the right season.
Because there is a new season since we had that conversation 6 months ago.
I didn't look to see what the season was and went right to that season.
Got it.
Okay. Well, now I'm caught up.
Great. So the new season is very good. Episode 3,
the right season.
Episode 3 has some callbacks to the David Tennant era that it ties back and continues the storyline that's been going ever since Shooty got in a role. And I thought it was great. It's a horror themed kind of episode. It's scary. Brings in some other players. Does some cool stuff with it. But I enjoyed this latest episode quite a bit. I thought it was the strongest one of the season so far.
I can't wait to actually watch the current stuff.
Yeah, good. Me either. And then next week we actually get Ruby back. So from
okay.
what you saw. But I've seen the Church of Ruby Roads because my daughter is obsessed with the. I won't spoil it since you're only halfway through, but with the antagonist of that episode, and with some of the songs from that episode.
Gotcha.
So we've watched that episode no less than like 30, 40, 50, a lot of times.
Gotcha.
So I can do that most of that episode from memory at this point. But
what about you?
And hey to everybody in the chat. Thanks for hopping on, joining. I did a couple gigs. I watched a bunch of things. I watched, as I just said, the latest episode of Doctor Who. I caught up on Hacks, which the complaints that I had about it earlier in the season are starting to iron themselves out, I hope. It brought back some of the heart that it was missing in the first couple episodes, so it's better. It also got a guest spot from Carol Burnett, which was awesome. Carol Burnett's still super funny and witty and doing all the things at like 90 something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Her and Gene Smart in a scene together was great. And Randy Newman, who looks older than Carol Burnett. Oh my God!
Wow.
But singing "I Love L.A." With Gene Smart, so that was fun. And then I caught up on Suits L.A. too, another good one. Has gotten better every episode, in my opinion. The first 5 are like, you got to push through.
Right.
And then it actually starts becoming like a decent hour-long drama. Not as good as the original, but hits its witty moments fairly well with it. But I think the original, was USA and was just, they could do different shows than like this. Because this is on regular NBC, I think.
Right. And
Peacock, so it's a little shinier, a little more polished as far as that stuff goes, but the characters are all starting to come into their own, and I think the storylines have gotten stronger since we got it through the first long. It was like a 5 or 6 episode arc, the first one, which was a lot to get through. Doing that, and then a lot of stuff coming up this week where I'm doing playing a concert with both my kids on Thursday.
Nice.
Friday, the one's got their jazz festival. Saturday, the other one's in an a cappella festival. Sunday, I got a gig. Then Monday, I'm leaving for a couple days to go get some sun. So
lucky you.
Yeah. So all that stuff and somewhere in there, I'm going to squeeze in seeing the Thunderbolts before I go. So
yeah, I totally forgot that it was this week. Thought it was next week. I'm going to do that. I am back on the hockey train. I didn't play at all last week, and started off on Sunday, joining another league for the summer. Oh boy, I just hate my body.
That's good. And then Monday you got something exciting coming up.
I do. I'm going to see Dogma on Monday in the theater at the Neshaminy Mall with Matt, supposedly with Matt, if he remembers. And Kevin Smith will be there in the theater.
Yeah, that'll be fun. He will talk.
That's fine. I don't have anything else to do. I can Raw's on Netflix, so I can always start that over at some point.
Yeah, give him some good questions, man. Think of some stuff.
I might take Tuesday off. I don't know. We'll see.
Mention Alan Rickman. He'll go for an hour.
God. Yeah. I know I have a list. No, Dogma is a Kevin Smith movie. One of his better ones.
It is one that has been trapped in purgatory for about 20 plus years. It's not streaming anywhere. You have to get it on video if you wanted to see it until this. It has been tied up with Miramax.
Yeah.
As the distributor that owned that. So because
they didn't want to let go of it at all.
Well, no, but because streaming hadn't happened when
right.
It is
I think
on
so.
par or better than Chasing Amy. Yes.
Yeah.
Of his first four, it's my favorite, I think.
George Carlin as the bishop, the Buddy Christ. It's got a great cast.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon.
Alan Rickman as the angel. Chris Rock's in this one.
Metatron is Alan Rickman. Yeah, it is great. It's
I hate you. You got us.
But yeah, look, Dogma's great. So I'm excited that it's coming back out. I'll probably go see it when it releases wide, since I was going to go see Kevin, but then it's not the right date for me.
No. You could always skip The Sun and go a day late.
No.
Yes, she is playing God. All right. I have a fun list.
All right.
I have a fun list, and then I want to get into The Office, because there's an episode in this season that you are going to love so much. And I know you're not there yet because you would have said so. But anyway, these are the top 36 current sci-fi TV shows according to Ranker. This list is about almost a month old. So it's at the beginning of
adding more to your list that you have to go watch, Frank.
Well, I'm not watching number 36.
Okay.
Number 36 is The Tyrant. I've never heard of it. I don't know where it's on. But it looks like it's maybe a Korean show.
It looks like that's a story of people who gather to occupy samples for different purposes after the last sample of the so-called Tyrant program disappears in a delivery accident.
Okay.
I feel like that's translated, because I don't know why the description should use the word samples that many times in it.
Yeah. I guess it's on Disney and Hulu, I guess. Yeah, it's on Disney. It's on Disney Plus or Hulu. Number 35, also one I've never heard of, Davy and Jonesy's Locker.
Yeah.
Eccentric besties Davy and Jonesy are yanked through the multiverse via their locker. I mean, it sounds interesting.
Okay. That's a current show?
Yeah, apparently. Premiered March 22nd, 2024. One season.
Yeah.
Hey, number 34, again, still not hitting anything even in my wheelhouse. Joko Anwar's Nightmares and Daydreams. This is on Netflix. This premiered June 14th. Tales of supernatural sci-fi phenomena unfold in this collection of 7 mind-bending stories. So, sounds kind of like an Amazing Stories, Twilight Zone-ish kind of show.
Yeah, anthology-style series. There you go. All right.
Number 33, again, this is just a great list. Me. This premiered July 12th, 2024 on Apple TV, so that actually has a shot at being good.
What was it again?
It's called Me, a season of change for 12-year-old Ben Vasani when he discovers that he can transform into anyone.
Oh, that actually sounds kind of fascinating.
Yeah, that sounds kind of good. And it's Apple Plus, and I really do like the Apple Plus stuff. Number 30.
They just, the problem with them is there is so much.
Yeah.
It's very hard to find stuff on there for now.
Eventually we're going to get to a show that I know. Number 32, the second best hospital in the galaxy. It looks animated. It's on Prime Video and Freevee.
Okay.
Two alien doctors tackle anxiety-eating parasites, illegal time loops, and deep space STIs. That premiered at the beginning of February. Or the end of February, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have at 31, The Swarm. This was on the CW. A group of scientists must save humanity from an unknown threat that lives under the sea. The picture, screen grab of it is a bunch of whales charging towards the screen.
Yeah, I feel like we jump this list up to number 20 and start going from there.
I'll start at 20. Yeah, you know what? I'll just go with 30. Black Knight.
Like the Martin Lawrence movie?
No, it's a good movie. It's a great movie, actually.
I mean, look, I would watch that show.
What if that was a TV show?
Oh, 100%.
100%. That was peak Martin Lawrence.
And think the costs are low because there's no special effects.
Yeah, deep space STIs do sound miserable to me. No, Black Knight, exploring a time-traveling narrative, offers an engaging blend of fantasy, history, and romance as the protagonist inadvertently transports to the past while on vacation. This looks also like another Korean type show.
Okay.
It's on Netflix if you want to check it out. But number 29, we finally get to something I've actually heard of. Rick and Morty, the anime.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've not seen the anime version of this.
No. So that's at 29. 28 is Into the Night. That's on Netflix. That premiered. Oh, that's not recent. That premiered in 2020.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 27. And I think
no.
Huh?
It's not still going either.
No. 2 seasons. Number 27 is ranked higher than it should be. Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
You mean lower?
Yeah. It should not be 27. It's too high for it.
See, I don't know. I didn't like it, but there was redeeming. I got what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
But it was not. There was a lot of gaps.
All right. I'm going to skip all the way up to 24. Twisted Metal. That should probably be ranked a little higher, right?
Yeah, if we're going. Well, I don't know if this list is current. There is doing still airing, it seems like. So
that was the only 2020 show, was that one.
Okay.
23, we have Dune Prophecy.
Which I didn't hear great things about. But I did hear great things about Twisted Metal from my mouth. So.
You did. You were very high on that.
Yeah, you're going to watch it. I heard
number
20, the new one.
Number 22 is extremely low. Gen V should be much, much, much more up the list.
Yeah, this list is broken.
At 22, this is horribly, horribly ranked.
Unless every Walking Dead series is like the top 10.
No, because 21 is Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
Oh, that's also low. So this list must get really good in the top 20 because Monarch was exceptional.
I don't have a problem with number 20. That's Ahsoka.
It's high.
Number 19, Russian Doll.
I don't know that. That one. Yeah. That's a little bit older.
Yeah. 2019.
It's a time loop memory, kind of Memento style thing, I think.
Number 18, this list is garbage. The Book of Boba Fett should not be at 18.
I mean, it's better than Ahsoka and Skeleton Crew.
No.
Only for those 2 episodes with the Mandalorian in them.
Yeah.
Like those move it up like 10 spots off where it should be.
Number 17, Dark Matter.
Heard great things about it. Joel Kinnaman, I believe.
Joel Edgerton.
I knew it was
Jennifer Connelly, Alicia Braga, Apple TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 16, Upload. I would put that higher, but that's personal bias by me.
Yeah, I'm good with Upload at 18, you said?
16.
Okay, I'm good with Upload there.
I mean, we're getting the final season eventually.
Yes.
I think it's this year, right? I think
it should be this year.
It should be this year.
Look, Upload's starting to go. It started going a little bit off the rails the last year. So.
Yeah. I mean, really, where can you go with a show like this, though? Number 15, we have From.
Yes.
This is the Lost type show that you told me about, right? Better than Lost? No?
With Harold Perrineau, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't seen that one yet,
Okay.
but I've heard great things.
Number 14 is the one with Joel Kinnaman. This is For All Mankind.
Oh, see? I was so close.
Yeah,
I get the Joels mixed up all the time.
this is a Ronald D. Moore show, so I'm surprised I don't watch it. It's an Apple TV show, but back from 2019.
Well, yeah, but it had multiple seasons.
4 seasons.
Yeah. It was still running recently.
Number 13, Foundation, also on Apple TV.
Yep.
2021.
Yeah, Apple TV has invested heavy into sci-fi.
Yeah, they have.
I think that Monarch down where it was is really low for that show.
Number
Season 2 that's coming this year, I think.
Number 12, we have Loki, season 1.
That's
actually Loki seasons 1 and 2, so they grouped the whole show as a whole.
Wow, it's trash.
I liked it, but you definitely did not like it as much as I did.
No, not in my top 12.
No. Number 11, Three Body Problem.
Oh, see now, yeah, that one was heavy from what I understand.
Okay.
It was Netflix.
Yeah.
I think they got their pickup for the next 2 seasons of it because it's a 3-book arc, I believe, that they're adapting.
And now we hit the top 10. Number 10, Resident Alien, the Alan Tudyk TV show that I heard is actually pretty funny.
Yeah, great reviews. Haven't had time to dig in on that one yet, but great reviews on that show.
Number 9, a TV show that I have only barely scratched the surface on by watching a single episode, Severance.
That's low for Severance.
I was going to say the next 8 better be really good because I haven't watched Severance, but I know that this is like all the rage. At number 8, Love, Death, and Robots.
I tried that and could not get into it. Back to Upload real quick. No release date.
No.
Yet on season 4, but apparently it might only be like 4 episodes just for them to like wrap everything up.
It's all they did was 4 episodes?
It sounds like it, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Number 7, Doctor Who. And this is the Kutigawa's Doctor Who.
That is high. I would put that lower.
See, if Discovery and Strange New Worlds aren't in this top 6, its list is more than trash.
I mean, Gen V was way better than the current Doctor Who run is.
Yeah, it was. At number 6 is Rick and Morty, not the anime, Rick and Morty.
Yeah. I don't know how it's been the last few seasons. I binged the first couple and thought they were great. Yeah. But it was pretty repetitive by then, and I can't imagine that it's not just as repetitive still.
Number 5, Silo. It's a good spot.
It's a little low, depending on what these next 4 are.
Okay. Number 4 is the Orville. That's usually up at the top. It's not at the top.
Look, the Orville's great.
Yeah.
I don't.
Look, I'm telling you right now, 3 and 2 need to be Strange New Worlds and Discovery, or some kind of. And it's not, because number 3 is Stranger Things.
They have been all over on this list for what they're counting, because this is sci-fi shows, right?
This is supposed to be the list of current sci-fi TV shows.
Okay.
And then number 2 is Fallout. I mean, I liked it, but number 2?
Yeah, I mean, Fallout's pretty good.
It is. And then the number one TV show ranked by voters. This is the 35 plus best current sci-fi shows, updated April 8th, 2025, is The Mandalorian.
Oh, no.
No. I would put Fallout over The Mandalorian. I would have put Discovery, even if you want to say no Discovery because it ended, but Strange New Worlds, the two of them both are top 10, top 5 sci-fi shows.
Andor and Obi-Wan are not on this list.
Andor and Obi-Wan are not on this list.
So this is definitely
the problem I have with rankers.
Yeah.
Because it's not,
we should go fix it.
Yeah. I'm going to just say no. And speaking of ranking, I am more interested in your ranking of The Office season 7.
Oh, are you?
Oh my God. Yes.
I don't think that I could rank the quality of these episodes. They're all on the bottom. But I did watch a couple more. I got through 3. I I almost didn't watch any, and then I was like, I should probably
Well,
power through a couple.
two of the three were pretty bad.
Yeah, so we got costume contests.
Oof,
Um,
not good.
Jim starts by messing with Stanley for no reason and gets the entire office to start messing with Stanley. That's your cold open, which was fine.
Was it the meatball one? Or is it the Stanley doesn't notice anything one?
Stanley doesn't notice anything.
Okay, that was fine.
That was all right. And then they're having a costume contest, and both the traveling sales guys are now hanging out in the office.
Yeah.
For no reason, I guess, or
Yeah.
we're just going to ignore the fact that there's now two guys doing the same job.
Yeah.
Cool. And it sounds like the one was super local, so I don't know where he's traveling to. The Scranton area is not that big.
No.
Considering everyone in the office goes out to appointments.
Every so often. Not all the time.
No, but still. That's where they saw him at an appointment with their customers they work from the office.
Yep.
And I can't imagine they offered him more money. Maybe Saber did. Who knows?
Sabri.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of notes for this one. It was not great.
There's not a lot of notes to have. The next one is even worse.
Yeah, they're there for the content. I had more on the next one.
Oh.
More there's Angela with the slutty nurse. Like, I don't get that doesn't play to type. There's I guess it's funny because she's not.
She just wanted to win the coupon book.
Well, she said she was doing it because she was playing for the crowd that's in the office. And I was like, I don't know that crowd comes across as like big, horny, macho guys that would go for the slutty nurse.
No.
Thinks Dwight has all the votes because, he owns them all. Sorry, the building. We still have Pam being awful human being, lying about the whole Danny thing. Still. And for like weird reasons, like that Danny just wasn't into her and she keeps, it's weird.
It's just as
if
a
they're
way
playing
to keep
Danny up to the level that they're playing Danny up to, like she wouldn't even rank. So I don't know why they're all shocked. Like, oh my God, how did you not love Pam?
I think it's just a way to keep Timothy Oliphant on screen for a couple episodes.
Just fine. And then Daryl and Michael arguing the whole time about stuff going up the chain. Like now the deliveries drivers are selling. So it's a good thing Pam doesn't do that job anymore because she sucked at her job. So it's great that now she can suck at her other job, doing things in the office. Then we had the christening.
Oh, this episode sucked.
Where they learned about hygiene. That was Pam's big thing, to teach the office about hygiene. So then to continue Jim being an awful human being, he decides to sneeze on Dwight. And then the whole office decides to start sneezing on Dwight, and he leans into it to build his immune system. He's in. I was like, oh, okay. Which tracks for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the christening for the baby, which is the title of the episode, which was, God, this was awful. It was worse than them all going to the wedding, which also didn't make sense.
Yeah, this episode kind of sucked a lot.
Yeah, so the whole office going. Pam and Jim made people they just met like within the last month and a half the godparents for their child.
Mm-hmm. No, but they've known them all along.
No, that's not what they said. They met them in Mommy and Me class. Said Pam met them, not Jim. Pam met them in Mommy and Me class.
Gotcha.
But we've met all of their family.
Yep.
Who you make godparents, not random people that you. So there's a little bit of a disconnect. That's stupid. Toby's scared to go into the church because he thinks he's going to catch on fire, because he's the only decent person on the show.
Right.
Jim apparently doesn't know how to change his daughter still, even though she's like 6 months old.
That's a normal guy thing.
Is it?
No.
Yeah, I never had that experience. I know that's the stereotype, but like I don't find it funny because that's not how it goes. Hey, Dom, thanks for joining.
I never had that experience either.
And then he, didn't even pack a backup outfit for the baby, so she's wearing a.
I would blame that on the mother, but what do I know?
Well, but he said he packed it.
Yeah, I'm blame her for not double checking.
That's fair, because I mean she's as awful as he is, so I'm not surprised by that one.
Fair point.
And Michael decides he's going to leave with the youth, go to Mexico, and Andy wants to go with him because he can't get Aaron. Like whatever. Dwight still selling on Sunday because all those businesses that are open on Sunday.
Yep.
No, you got like 3 minutes of office talk left.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
And they try and make it funny that Jim left the baby. Like, they just keep showing you that Jim's awful at everything, including being a parent. Leaves the baby, thought he lost the baby. They start freaking out on everybody, and Angela's stealing scones, and the Aaron comes to pick Michael and Andy and some random kid up in her car that
Yeah,
didn't
no,
go.
the episode sucked.
It was
Like,
not,
I can admit when an episode sucks.
yeah.
The
And then
next
we got
one wasn't as bad.
no, and then we got Viewing Party, which I thought was going to be all about the Scranton Strangler, and I was way
Yeah.
more in to
Nope.
that possibility.
Yeah.
Then them going back to Michael's apartment, as well as I think Jim's apartment, which is now Gabe's apartment, because it's the same set
No,
from the older episodes.
no, it's not.
Yeah, 100%. 100% that is the same as it was Jim's house they went to the one time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
Way back in like the second season.
yeah,
Yes.
it's the exact same apartment
Yeah.
as everybody else's apartment through it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So Gabe and Aaron throw a party at Gabe's apartment, but didn't invite Aaron's brother boyfriend.
The creepy brother?
Yeah.
No. This is just for the office people. This is for no other friends outside of the office people.
Right.
None of them have friends outside of the office.
Right.
Right.
So yeah. I mean, that was my note at this massive apartment that I'm pretty sure used to be either Michael's or Jim's.
Right.
Michael's bratty about people thinking Gabe's the boss. Dwight magically is a better parent than Pam, which I actually buy. You know, Jim screws up the watch party checking basketball scores, but they were on the DVR delay, which at the time's funny because
Right.
nobody knew how DVRs worked back then.
I liked Aaron. My sister has said real fast. I was talking to my sister about The Office, and she said I tried to follow Jenna Fisher after The Office, and she's insufferable as a human being. And I laughed.
Yeah, it shows in her performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael does the TV thing. Andy decides to eat a gallon of seahorse
Yeah, seahorse
stuff to make him more attractive.
Yeah.
Decides to throw up in the bed instead of in the bathroom. I was like, you knew you were getting sick, so you went to lay in a bed. Okay.
Mhm.
Great. Cool.
Well, it's
Kevin, the bit with Kevin wanting to eat a pig in a blanket and interrupting by them. That was funny. And then, yeah, they try to do a weird, like, the show shouldn't go for heartfelt moments because they don't work.
Yeah, no, they don't.
But
Not
they
a lot of
try
them.
and do this weird father figure of Michael with Aaron because she was a foster kid, so she doesn't have
Right.
a father figure. So, like, Michael's her dad, but, like, is awful to her all the time. So, like, I don't know. And that, yeah, all 3 episodes were, that's why I couldn't do a 4th.
It was bad. It was bad. And I will say to wrap up your Office thing, in the next 3 episodes, one of them is a double episode.
Oh, great.
Okay. But you will love Classy Christmas. That's the episode that's coming. It's a double episode.
I hope
you
somebody
will
dies.
you will love Classy Christmas. It was written by Rainn Wilson, directed by Mindy Kaling. You will absolutely love Classy Christmas.
Current Rainn Wilson is going on the naughty list, so I can't wait to see how his Christmas was back then.
This is an episode that you will thoroughly enjoy. I promise.
Okay, as long as somebody dies.
It
Close enough.
nobody actually dies, but you'll love it.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to go Last of Us or we want to go Andor?
Well, before we do that, I want
We
to
have news.
pop
I
a
totally
couple of these
forgot about
little newsy things off.
That's why you
The
get paid
bo-
the big bucks.
The box office this weekend, we had a re-release of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. In a 3-day total, Sinners took the number 1 spot, bringing in $45 million for a cumulative domestic 2-weekend pull of $122.5 million. That movie's doing really well.
It is.
Um,
I'm gonna try and figure out how I can go see it sometime in the next.
I'm not into horror movies, but apparently there are people that are sending Josh Allen like RIP messages on social media because of some steamy scene between his fiance Haley Steinfeld and Mr. Jordan. I haven't seen it. I know I'm pretty sure T saw it. I'm not sure if Dom saw it, but it's got great reviews. At number 2 for the weekend, pulling in 25.2 million in just 3 days, was Star Wars Episode 3. It is the second highest grossing re-release of all time right now.
Good. Well, so that's a little skewed, right? Because how often do we re-release anymore?
A little bit.
When we were kids, it was every month was a re-release of something. Because I remember seeing every Star Wars movie in the theater.
Same.
And they were all released after I was old enough to remember seeing any of them in the theater.
Good for that movie, doing good. To round out the top 5, we had The Accountant pulling in 24.5 million in its first weekend. Minecraft pulling in 20 million for a 4-weekend domestic total of 377, but I believe the global total is like 800 something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's wild. But that's The Accountant. I don't know how much you know about that one.
I know who's in it, and I know.
Which shocking. It's not like I think it's weird, right, that we have John Bernthal, who everybody raves about, and he's amazing, this, that, but like he's not a box office draw. We have Ben Affleck now, also not a box office draw.
Let me rephrase what I said about the re-release thing, because I actually did pull up another article for that. The re-release of Revenge of the Sith is expected to make between 21 and 23. It did that. This opening would make it one of the best of the Star Wars Disney era re-releases, better than the 1977 re-release of Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, which made 16 and 21.9 million respectively. The only other Star Wars prequel movie to be re-released since Disney's 2012 was The Phantom Menace. And The Phantom Menace pulled in 19 million.
All right.
So this is going to do better than that. I personally think that this movie has aged really well. And it's better now than
it was when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Minecraft is 816 million global. Look, it could have the legs. There's nothing. There's the next thing that's like family friendly, I think, is like How to Train Your Dragon live action. So Minecraft could hang out for a minute. It
could. There's a couple of quick little story bits that I want to get to before there's one that's going to have a little bit of a meatier discussion. I did not know Cheech and Chong had a movie coming out.
Oh yeah, I saw that because I'm old, so I watched that on CBS Sunday mornings.
I mean, that's awesome. I'll watch it because I saw every one of their movies growing up.
Yeah.
Miami Vice is getting a remake with Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski.
Wait. Is it a movie remake of like the Colin Farrell movie, or is it like?
No. The movie is based on the 80s TV series.
Okay. So it is still
a movie
reboot.
Yep.
Oh, so it's not a TV show. I would have taken a TV show.
Yeah, the movie that came before it in 2006 with Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell, that was a flop, grossing 165 million against the 135 million budget. I don't remember even seeing that, and I watched Miami Vice with my dad growing up.
It was not good.
No. There is a live action Gargoyles reboot still coming.
No.
Yeah. I don't need that either. And the thing that I wanted to kind of dig... Oh, and there's a Toys R Us live action movie announced.
A what?
A Toys R Us... it will be a journey as boundless as play itself, evoking the electric sense of wonder that is the essence of Toys R Us. This story will capture the imagination, adventure, and joy that has made Toys R Us a destination for kids of all ages. That means they really don't have a plot yet.
Yeah, so like Jeffrey the Giraffe's going to be like hanging out in the real world. It'll be like Ted, only probably with less.
I don't know. But what I wanted to mention really fast before we move on to the other shows was the Netflix CEO came out, and this quote is interesting. He said, "We're saving Hollywood. Netflix is a very consumer-focused company. We deliver the program to you in a way you want to watch it. What is the consumer trying to tell us? That they'd like to watch movies at home. I believe the theatrical release, is an outmoded idea for most people, if not for everybody. That's a pretty bold statement.
I don't know that it is.
I don't think it's outmoded. I don't go to the movies as much as I used to go to the movies, but the fewer times I go, I enjoy going out to the movies more, even if I'm just by myself to watch something.
Yeah, but to go to his point, that's not a sustainable business model for the movies.
What?
You said I don't go as
Well,
often as I used to.
I think,
And I don't think that's you. I think that's people don't go
but
as often as they used to.
no, and I think it's because the movies have such a shorter run in theaters right now that if, Thunderbolts is coming out this weekend. Well, if I wait 3 weeks, I'm going to see it on Disney Plus, right? The
Well,
only
like 3
reason,
months.
but the only reason to go to see a movie like that in a theater right now is to avoid spoilers because the run times are shorter because of COVID. I think COVID really screwed up the movie theater business a lot by making run times way, way shorter. And by run times, I mean time in the theater.
Right. Yeah, runs. Yeah, I agree with COVID wrecking the movie theater business because it was in a really strong spot right before that.
Yep.
But I think everybody also has continued to upgrade their technology at home. It continues to become cheaper to get a bigger screen. The
Sure.
pictures keep getting better at home.
Yep.
I don't have to go to a movies if I want surround sound and a big screen. I have all that. Is it better in the theater? Sure. But you also have the theater experience is not what it was with people with cell phones and people not paying attention and people talk. Like, I don't have any of that at home. I
Look
can
at,
enjoy the movie the way that I want to enjoy the movie without having to worry about other people trying to enjoy it their way
look
or
at
having to be
the
the guy that goes, "Hey, can you stop talking because you're not at home?"
look at the way the Minecraft screenings had gone. And it's just one movie, but I can tell you every single movie theater I've ever been in, and I'm not punching down on movie theaters because I still like to go, but every single movie that I go into, I sit kind of farther back, so I see all the screens popping up on the phones, and it's incredibly distracting if you're watching a dark scene and all of a sudden a phone lights up because somebody has to make a social media post that they're in the theater watching a movie. Like that, your phone there should be something that like shut your phone off. Like what happened when we were 15 and going to the movie theater? If somebody in your family, God forbid, has a heart attack, you're not finding out about it until the movie's over.
You're not finding out until you get home.
Right. So, I mean, look, I know it's a different world and technology is wonderful and amazing, but I don't want to see your screen. I dim my watch. I dim my phone. I put it in my pocket. I don't check it. Like,
no, I pull it out when the credits show up just to see if there's a post-credit scene.
Yes, I'll do that sometimes too.
And then I put it back away until the post-credit scene. Yeah, I don't know that I think we're going to come to a crossroads soon between where the box office needs are and the experience is versus what you're getting at home. But there's something else I've been thinking about that kind of ties back to this. That'll lead us into Last of Us and Andor, right?
Sure.
If you're making, for instance, Andor is basically 4 movies.
True.
Right? So every week I have to watch a movie, a new Star Wars movie.
Right.
That's just split into 3 parts, but really it's a 2.5-hour movie. Let's be honest. Or a 2-hour movie, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But is that and then waiting 3 years for the next one? Like, I get waiting for a movie, but like, I don't want to wait for the new stuff at home. Because a movie was an experience and you do put everything away.
Yep.
And so it ingrains in your brain differently, right? Like there's movies that I saw like 15 years ago. I still remember everything that happened in. There's shows I watched last week that I have no idea what was on the screen.
I agree.
But in TV shows that I watched 20 years ago that I remember everything that happened, I don't have that experience with any of this stuff anymore. So when you try and get me to remember like stuff that happened in Last of Us season 1, I don't remember it.
Do you know why I remember the original Star Wars movie? Not because the movie was so great, but the experience I had to watch it is I was in a station wagon with my sisters, my father, my mother, and we drove to the Pennsauken Drive-In to see the Muppet movie. On the other screen was Star Wars. My father took me, a blanket, and my dad was big on thermoses, a thermos of hot chocolate, sat me against the pole with the speakers, and I had my own stereo. And I sat on the ground against the pole and watched Star Wars. I'll never forget that.
Right.
That was my instant favorite movie. That experience made that movie my favorite more than the actual movie, which was awesome at that age. And I'll never forget a story like that. I can't, the same thing. I don't remember. I had to watch a recap of The Last of Us season 1 because it felt like it was 3 years ago.
Right.
I'm glad I'm watching it. Was it 3 years ago?
Yeah.
No shit. But I tend to watch the recaps because it's been so long. I had to do that with Andor. I totally forgot Andor season 1 because it wasn't always in your face action. It was a longer drawn out.
It's 2.5 years ago. Sorry.
Yeah. But same thing. I want to move. I want to still go to the movies and I want that experience, but I don't want you on your effing phone and I don't want to hear your kid crying when you shouldn't have a baby in a theater watching an R-rated movie.
Oh my God. I remember when I went to see Deadpool, the first Deadpool, there was a baby in the movie theater. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I don't need that. I don't need
like, I get the kid doesn't know what's going on the screen, but like, why is the kid in the theater? I don't understand.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's where we're at as a society. That's we do those things.
Yeah.
So it's like, and like I said, I'd rather watch that in my home, and I do a good job when I'm watching a movie for the first time. Like when I watched Venom, like I put my phone away. Like when I watched The Last Dance with Venom, when I watched Craven, I had to have my phone out because it was just different. But
I'm not on my phone when I'm watching certain shows either. I'm not on my phone when I'm watching Andor or The Last of Us.
If you give me 2.5 hours of Andor, I'm like, that's a long time for me to
if
not to have to just focus on that.
If something really awesome happens in one of those shows and I know you're watching it almost around the same time, I'll shoot a random text just to kind of like, hey, you'll, all right, I'm not watching. I'm not at that part. Okay. I won't, not to spoil it. Now, which way do we go? You pick a direction.
Let's hit Last of Us because there's not a whole lot of big stuff on there.
There wasn't. So I have this thing that has the 7 biggest game changes in episode 3. Now you said, did you play the game? I forget.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember the game great. Like again, right? Like I played it, I don't know, 5 years ago. I played it before the show started. So like five some odd years ago. Maybe I played it in between and out. I might have finished it after this show came out.
From what I have been reading, and I'm not going to go through all these because only a few of these really matter. The time between Ellie and Dina leaving and the time that Tommy leaves, because in the game, Tommy's the one that goes after Abby, is 3 months. Tommy leaves the next day, right? In the game. So in the show, they send Ellie and Dina go out and Tommy, I guess, is going to come after them at some point. I would assume. I don't know.
I think that we will get Tommy coming back.
Now, I like the episode overall.
Coming to follow them. I think we see that probably in the next episode, by episode 5.
Okay. I liked the episode overall. I thought it was a good episode. It did a more world building, a little more setting up. I understood the significance of Dina getting sick. If that's the route they're going to go, then after watching that, I read some stuff and kind of confirmed what I thought initially in my head. It's,
that is
okay.
I don't know that it played out that fast in the game, but I think it did. Because again, right. I spread the game out. Like I took some breaks, and it's meaty story wise.
Yeah.
But like I think we're gonna spend a lot more time in Jackson. Still, I don't think we're definitely not done with Jackson. Like in the game, like once they leave Jackson, you're done with Jackson.
Okay.
You don't cast the people that you have in Jackson and not acknowledge them again this season.
Right.
Because honestly, and I think I've said this before, like Bella Ramsey, not a strong enough star to take over this show.
No, but Isabella Mercedes.
Maybe. but unless they completely rewrite that role,
Right.
there's not that much stuff for her to do. Because it really what happens, and the reason Joel's gone so fast is The Last of Us Part 2 is Ellie and Abby's story. Like they are the main
Right.
characters.
Right.
I don't care enough about watching, like I said, like Bella Ramsey's not doesn't draw me in enough to be like, oh, I can't wait to watch her act on screen for the next 4 years. Um, but oh, T's already out. So yeah, like we get the thing, and I remember in the game, I think you get the scene where Ellie goes back into Joel's house, and like, because I remember opening the box like that. I think that's like right out of the scene, the game.
Right.
But like that's the thing, like in the game, or maybe that's a flashback later, because the game's heavy with the flashbacks and like
Well,
pulling
yeah.
back the points as transitions between your time with Ellie and your time with Abby.
T's not the only one that I've seen make comments in social media about being done with the show too, for different reasons. Some of them are for the reasons that you're both that T's confirming what you're saying.
Yeah, well, hold on. I like Caitlin Deaver quite a bit.
Right.
I don't know what she's going to bring to Abby yet. And after seeing some of the stuff that came out last week after that episode dropped about like what she was going through, like she had just buried her mom like 2 days before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wild.
That's heavy shit.
And I don't see her as Abby, but I don't know that they're going to tell the same Abby story.
Right.
Because I don't think they're going to make Abby as big of a deal, because I don't think I would buy Caitlin Deaver in any of those situations that they put Abby in the game. So I think they're going to have to rewrite a lot of stuff for those two going forward. And if they don't, I think they'll lose people pretty quick.
Well, I mean, we'll see if they're going to lose people next week.
And the one guy that they cast in there, Carlisle.
Okay.
Who was there? He was in the town hall. He spoke up and yelled at Seth.
Yeah.
He's been in like he feels like a really big get for like 2 lines in a show. But I mean, he's not like huge from a standpoint, but like I know him from like 1,000 things.
Right.
And it's driving me nuts that I should have looked before. I just wrote down Carlisle so I could remember to look up who he is. Yeah, Hiro Kanagawa.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like Star Trek Discovery, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Altered Carbon, The Recruit.
I knew he was familiar.
Everything. He's done everything. He was Shogun. He was, he's been on all of the shows. He was in Lost, I'm pretty sure. He's in Upload.
He was.
Like that's a pretty big guy to get for like one line in a town hall. So I feel like they'll pull him back in, and you'll get some sub, because like I said, we're definitely not leaving Jackson, because I think we're going to see a drawn out play to Tommy leaving to go after the girls.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, it could be at the end of the season. It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, they're stretching this game out into 2 or 3 seasons if they can.
Yeah, but that's not a stretch. The game is long.
Well,
like the game is like you finish the game and you're like, oh, I'm done the game. Oh shit, we just started over with Abby.
Yeah,
it's in the game. There's 30 hours of gameplay, I want to say.
Okay.
Like of gameplay.
I like games.
Out of like that's a lot. So he was even in Hellstrom. I don't know if anybody remembers that Marvel movie or Marvel TV show that should have been way better received than it was. It was like one of the last Marvel TV things. It was on Hulu, and it was like snuck out. But it was actually pretty good. So yeah, we had there. She lost 8-3, so I'm guessing that's and Jesse's probably gonna go too. So it'll probably be Tommy and Jesse will go.
Right.
Because you don't set Jesse up that much in a TV show. Right? Same thing we're dealing with Wheel of Time, right? Like you don't cast these actors in roles and then not give that actor time to do their thing.
Right.
What are your thoughts on Seth and the way they've dealt with that character already?
Seth is
the guy that got injured with friendly fire that decided to help him out. That at the end of episode 1
I like it.
Was all bigoted towards.
No, I like it. I like the change of pace for him. I like the realization, you know. I liked it. Yeah, I mean, it worked for me. It was fine. They
That's
needed an
been a pretty
ally, and
controversial one. That's why I was asking.
yeah, yeah, no, it
Um,
was. They needed an ally to help them get out, and that was a great choice to help them get out. And you know, they shook hands at the end, and good for them.
you get the weird introduction to the Seraphites,
The what
which they
fight?
call them Seraphites in the post credits where they talk to him. The
Oh,
group with the whistling, with the faces cut,
yes.
hiding from the wolves, and then you see that there is a full slaughter there.
Yeah,
Um, you know, that was a little weird, but we've had 3 months, right? So like, who knows? Like they were hiding from the wolves. I think they're going to go pretty deep into the wolves and how
well,
we get
looked
all
like
that.
it.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of them because two of them go into a city with looks like hundreds of bad guys is going to be
Yeah,
interesting to see how he played out. Because in the game, like the first big city thing, there's some, but it's mostly like Ellie looking for clues of where Abby went
right.
in a half abandoned city. So I don't know. We'll see. Um, but we made it to Seattle pretty quick, which in the game I think it was just like 3 months later, Seattle. You know,
Well, they
because
did
it's also not close. So they went from Wyoming to Seattle. So like we
yeah
watched them on the road.
by horse.
Yeah, so we watched them on the road, stay in a tent for one night, and that's
I'm
our full scene in the span of probably a month,
Yeah,
month
no, I'm
and a half.
fine with that. I'm glad they didn't draw that out with constant little like side quests, so to speak, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I wouldn't have been opposed to like one or two though. Like your video game, you get
Yeah,
your
but
little your incident somewhere,
you also only have what 7, 8 episodes to run through.
right? Which is a whole other problem.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, so look,
I'll
we'll
watch.
keep going. We'll see. We are not out like T.
No, not yet. I,
Um,
I'm watching for the content. No,
pretty
I'm
much.
enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the show. But again, I didn't play the game, so it's something different. Um, Unlike another show that is something different that I'm enjoying way more than I kind of thought I was.
Oh, look at that. Is that Andor?
That would be Andor. Um, I thought the first 3 episodes were great. There were so many little nuances, and one thing that I totally didn't even realize until after the show was over. Um, right now we're 4 years before Luke blows up the Death Star. We're in BBY 4.
Yes.
We're 4 years before Luke blows up the Death Star. Then we go to episode 4, 5, and 6, where we're going to be 3 years, then 2 years, then 1 year. So they're taking us right up to the gate,
Right.
which is great. They set these episodes in 3 different locations. Right? You got three different locations basically revolving in these 3 episodes.
Yeah, I tried writing down names.
I got you.
There's a Sinar test facility is the
What
first one with the TIE fighter where Andor goes, but then we're out of there pretty quick. And then we cut to where did we cut to?
we go
With
to
Andor.
Was that where he got captured?
No, that was where he stole the ship from. Then he got captured on
Yavin 4, which I didn't realize.
yeah, me either.
I didn't know. I didn't pick up on it as he's flying away, and that big pyramid thing's there. I didn't even pay attention to that,
Yeah.
which I'm mad at myself for. So we have the eventual home of the rebel base. You have another set taking place on the farming planet of Mina Rao,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you have the wedding taking place on Chandrilla,
Mm-hmm.
while you have the love couple in Coruscant.
So we got four locations.
Well, 5 technically if you want to
I'm not gonna count both spots for Andor.
count not the Andor part, but if you want to count the big Nazi meeting.
Oh yeah.
Like the completely symbolic taking from, I mean, let's just say it's taken from Avengers or from Captain America, but we know where that was taken from.
Yeah, all of the propaganda where they're talking through about
In the snowy mountain scene, in the whole thing, it was great. Yeah. I loved all 3 episodes. I really did.
You split them up. Like I watched them all. I watched two and then one. I didn't
That's
watch
how I
two
did it.
back to
I
back.
watched 2 and then I watched 1.
Um, let me see. I got so many notes.
Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm looking to see if any of my notes are worthwhile because I write stream of consciousness as I take notes.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking to see, and a lot of it's just we did get some troopers that we hadn't gotten. We got snow troopers. Blink, can you miss them? We
Yep.
got that big furry bomb guy.
Yep. They were the last time they were actually on screen was in Solo.
Okay. Which look, I love Solo.
I
Um,
did
what,
not hate that movie.
yeah, what I did think was some of the weird stuff with Andor was like that they tried to go comedy but didn't play it for comedy, which was
Yeah.
weird. Like showing him as like this screw up where it goes backwards and he doesn't know how to fly the ship, and I was like, I don't know if that's supposed to be.
I
It was weird how they played it. Um, and then I would have thought that he would have just kept wearing this stolen stormtrooper mask, like while he was piloting the ship and like leaving. So it was fine.
Yeah, maybe it was uncomfortable. He said the actor said the suit was incredibly uncomfortable to wear, like physically.
I'm sure. Um, look, and just overall, the Mon Mothma stuff I thought was really well done.
So I had to look some stuff up about that because I really didn't understand some of what was going on because I forgot.
Yeah, I went back and watched the recap. They did like a 12-minute recap on Disney Plus.
Okay, I didn't watch the recap and I should. And Matt was texting me telling me it was awful TV. And he's like, well, that dancing scene was stupid. And I had to really look into that and to really understand that dancing scene. She just basically sentenced one of her oldest friends to death. Right.
Yes.
And the psychology behind that dancing scene was like she was dancing instead of screaming. Like that was her release of everything.
She got hammered.
Yeah. And it was cool to see that she's just now starting to realize what will have to be done.
Well, and she also just married away her daughter.
She married away her daughter,
who's
sold her daughter, basically.
And who her daughter is like he's like, yeah, look, I'm gonna do what I have to do.
Yeah. And two things that Tony Gilroy said, the guy that created the show. No Darth Vader, no Palpatine in this series at all in season 2. None.
Yeah.
And that's good. I don't need them. And he's like, writing Darth Vader is really difficult because he doesn't say much. So there's really no reason to write him into this.
Right.
Darth Vader's entrance into this point is perfect where it is at the end of the movie.
100% at the end of Rogue One.
Yep. And I don't need Palpatine at all. I think I'm all Palpatined out right now. I don't need more Palpatine right now.
No, it's let's see the other side of it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right,
and how the Empire hid the Death Star from the Senate, and how they're using Gorman as an unlimited energy source, which they're not. They're using Gorman as power for the Death Star, right?
No, they're using it for the stuff to coat the reactor lenses.
Yeah. But that's
weird.
It's all. Sorry, I'm chilly. I just started teeth chattering. I like the direction they're going, and I like all the little. The Bix stuff was really, really well done, coming from the trauma that she had. The timely save by Cassian was, typical movie hero stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and I thought with Cassian, I took a note. I was like, Andor might be killed looking for the next pilot to leave the ship with. I was like, just kidding. It's his show.
He did say, Diego Luna did say that after this series ends, you want to go back and watch Rogue One right away because you're going to see a different movie.
I'm sure.
And I think that's great. And I really want to watch Rogue One now. Now I have to wait a month, 2 months.
I thought the weird stuff with the Imperial guy wanting to come onto Bix was weird to play. After everything that they did to Bix last season, I thought it was a bit much to come right in with that.
it was a lot to hit right away, but I think they played it well, and there was a lot of subtle movements with the camera that I was reading. With different shades and tones, and like it went out a little bit of focus here as the guy was getting closer, and there was like really little subtle things that I'm not a filmmaker. I don't pick up on that stuff. That I have.
Yeah, I look, I just don't know that it needed to be there.
It's fair.
Right? Like, I think it distracted from the rest of what they were telling with like, oh, oh God, they're doing this to Bix again. Like, she just basically had this done to her, like,
Yep.
from a mind standpoint. Now we're going to make it physical instead. Like, it's, and I look, I don't know where Bix's story goes because I don't think she's in Rogue One, if I remember right. So
I don't believe.
So like I don't know how far we're trying to get her to push over. Or we're gonna try and make her into like this messiah where she'll go suicide stuff and like to go help the Alliance or whatever. I don't know. I don't know where we're gonna go. I had forgotten about Luthen's like assassin chick.
Yep.
And I had forgotten that the redhead that was with Mom Mothma was the blonde from season 1.
That I remember. I remembered the face. Ben Mendelsohn back was great.
Wait, which one?
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yes, as Krennic was great. My first notes on episode 2 are holy shit, this recap is the entire episode. Where like the recap before episode 2 was like literally everything in episode 1. I'm like, this is like 5 minutes long.
Yep.
Yeah, and then and the stuff where they brought back the mom and getting to see Deidre put the mom in her place. I hope the mom's not on the show anymore because now she's a distraction.
Yeah. That scene where Cyril goes into the bedroom and like flops on the bed.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the script. He did that on his own as someone who has been through that kind of issue with but the director was like, he's like, what do you want me to do in here? And the director's like, I don't know, just just hanging out in here. And he just kind of flopped on the bed in that weird way, and they like kept it in, and they thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was also like it seemed like not planned because like that was literally 3 feet from the dining room table.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a different part of the apartment. It was like the next room over without a door.
Yeah.
But I did appreciate Deidre going after the mom. And then the wedding stuff, back to the farm planet. Will's dumb. Went to see his girl, left his speeder in front of the house, and then decides to run back. I
wonder if Cyril and Deidre don't end up on the Death Star and die. Like everybody always joked about casualties of war and innocent people on the Death Star that may have died during that. Got to get some of these people up there and be killed off that way, right? Doesn't that kind of bookend it a little bit?
It would. Yeah, it's like, oh, Cyril's the lead officer on the Death Star,
or something like. But I wanna. We don't know. We know that. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of stormtroopers and blah blah blah.
Right.
Grand Moff Tarkin was on the Death Star, but I want to know that a character that we've ran through these 2 seasons of Andor with, we know that all of Cassian's team dies, right? I want to know that one of these characters made it up to the Death Star and died there. That you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
I like that connection.
Yeah, I think that would be cool, but we're not going to see that. So like we would just have to know that they're stationed there.
Right. That's all I need to know.
Assume that that's where we end up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it was good. It did not feel like 3 episodes worth of stuff.
No, it did feel a little scattered.
Like this episode could have been like an hour and some change from this arc. But that's not this show's nature.
No.
So look, let's go. I also heard that these were the weakest 3.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair to get it started.
The critics got the whole series already.
Okay. Now, when do we get Guerrera back? Is that in the next 3, or is that later down the line, closer to the end, do you think?
I think he weaves in and out. I think I hope. Here's what I hope, but I feel like it's going to be this way. I hope that the other episodes aren't like a 24-hour turnaround like this. Like, I think that was the thing for me. Like, this was all in the span of like a day.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Which it's also weird how we play space travel.
Well,
like, oh, Andor can fly across every galaxy in minutes.
Without running out of gas.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Whatever that was that they ran out of in the last Skywalker.
Right.
Or the Last Jedi or whatever one it was that they were, the space chase.
Meanwhile, the TIE fighter has enough that was in like development, has enough gas in it to fly all over everywhere. Yep. And unlimited bombs and ammo.
Yeah.
Of course. Got it.
That's how it works.
You don't load those things up right before you go out to war. Whatever. Which is fine. It's Star Wars. It's about wizards with laser swords. It's fine.
Yes, it is.
I just hope that they cover some more ground in the other ones, where it's not like a day or so. It's like, watch this year unfold and watch the year unfold, not like this snapshot of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if and I hope that they get away from this snapshot and into more arcy storytelling for the 3 episode arcs.
Before we go, we have the massacre at Gorman. It's coming up at some point.
Yes.
After the massacre at Gorman, Mon Mothma makes the speech to the Senate and then has to get out of the Senate and away. And the way she gets transported is on Ghost, the Rebels crew. Do they make an appearance, or do they just kind of gloss over that part of it that happened in the cartoon or the animated series?
I mean, I don't know that they would have been able to hide Mary Elizabeth Mastering, or
so you think
Master Antonio? Jesus Christ, she's a ton.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
You think we get that at the end of like a 3-season arc here that they do, and then the next season they picks up after they've already taken her, and you can just kind of talk that in. This already happened.
Yeah, I think you get her on the radio. They did that
her
with her last season, right?
Yeah, well, they can have her making the speech, but to get her from point A to point B, you can just kind of time jump that, because you're not getting any of that Rebels crew back, because that would mean what Freddie Prinze was there for that too, right?
Kanan he's never been live action. You'd have to recast Ezra.
Right. You can't do. I don't think.
You have Zeb is CGI, so maybe.
I don't think you're going to see that.
But no, I think you get Hera on the radio.
That's fine. That's fine. I can take that. I don't need to see live action. I'm going to see the live action Rebels people in Ahsoka next year.
Oh, is it next year?
I don't know when it is. They're filming now.
Great. So excited. So look, we're digging it so far. I know I didn't say anything great about it, but I enjoyed the 3 episodes. It was a lot. It was a lot for not a lot of time that they covered.
Then we get tomorrow.
And then tomorrow there'll be 3 new ones with 3 years out or 4 years out.
1 year. Yeah. Then they're 4
years out, whatever.
4 years out.
So we'll see how that goes. We will figure out how we're bringing you our Thunderbolts reviews. Because the weekend's a little tricky if you were listening at the beginning, as I said. So we'll see how that works out. And then, thanks for finding the Geek Spot with us.
Thank you. We love you.
Check me out, jackkidmusic.com. I do have 1 public gig this week down at Barnaby's Aston. So if you're free Sunday, stop out. Check out Frank this week on Island of Relevancy.
Yeah, we should be going Wednesday night, little SmackDown Raw recap.
Nice. And with our boy T, thanks for T in the comments. Thanks for everybody else for joining the conversation. Tell a friend, bring him back with you next time, and we will see you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.